Good morning, everybody. So I am going to leave this streaming just the live chat for a while, and at about 10:30 we will pop in and do the actual briefing itself. So I will preface the beginning of these videos for anybody who hops right in. What's going on here? We're just going to do some live trading. In fact, I'm glad we said that. I need to go from sim to live trading, and we will do the actual briefing once the IB has been put in at 10:30. So I will talk to you then and enjoy the show. Well, let's try that again. Cheers to COM 0DTE Options Market C's retail trading team. That's a lot of rhyming, and this is your routine briefing. I'm Mastro coming to you from Puppet Show Central. And yeah, so they say that calm seas, or actually I wrote this down so I didn't make sure I don't smooth or mess that up. So the correct term is smooth seas do not make skillful sailors. So we'll see if we can't build some skill today as the seas hopefully get a little choppier. And that's all the metaphors I'm going to have for you as we jump right into our warm up for today. Um, so as you can see, just the first thing that I want to bring to your attention is that IBR. So today's IBR is, one second, I'm checking my levels to make sure I don't mess this up here too bad. Move this up to 94. Just to lock some profits in there. Stand by, please. Okay. Level to level. Anyways, yeah. So with the profit stop moved up, or the target moved up, look at that IBR. So we're now starting to break out of the IB range, which is just lovely so far. So we'll see if that continues. Like I said, there's not a lot going on. So even though we are having a nice little down move here, I'm going to be watching that 83 number really closely, and you'll see on the TPO just why. Don't really want to dwell on the warm up too much. I think the most important thing are just minding these levels. Bolded is just barb. Um, those are our levels for today, and I think that's kind of the most important component of the yes, Mr. Juiceball. I am short from 4004. So that futures thing that we are working on, working out nicely so far. So I did take the first off at 5, the second off at 94, next level down, and now I'm watching that 83. But yeah, so really not too much going on in here. So I think given this aggression that we're seeing here, I'm going to go ahead and change this to a normal variation look. So we'll see if that balance migrates. And like I said, we'll see what happens around 83. Since we're getting a good move here, I want to jump right into the TPO just because I think that's most important. So again, this warm-up document is in the description of this video. If you just go there, you can join in the fun and see these levels. So I'm going to jump right into the TPO. We're going to go a little bit out of order just because we're getting this nice little down move. And why do I keep mentioning that 83 number? So really 8150, I guess, would be the specific number. I just use 83 because I see a little bit, I thought the trend line was a little closer down there. So again, we'll see what happens. Yeah, I'm watching this. I'm like referring to the trend line. It's on the other screen, but I'm watching this naked POC. So what happens if we do get that extension down to that naked POC? What happens around there? I do expect a bounce. If you want to see the execution chart real quick, what I have going on. So I'm actually short from 4,275. OJ, I fake newsed you there. Yeah. So if we go to the execution chart, lots of trend lines, lots of junk up here. But if you see where we are now, we have that nice clean move, and I think down to at least the 8150-ish level. 83 is the official level, we'll say, just because I'm seeing a lot of people that I agree with. Kind of we're coming to the same conclusion is between 80 and 83. Yeah, if we do have that extension down, I'm watching this trend line down here. So we are in a nice little void here. You can see these two distributions. This distribution is from Friday's low, and this is just from yesterday's overnight low. So I think it was like 97, 98 through today. And we're watching here. This is a ledge, so I think that what will get us additional 10 points or so here will be once price falls off that ledge, if it falls off that ledge. And like I said, it might take us down to the lower edge of balance, but I'm watching this 80 to 83 level, this little HVN, maybe this LVN area here, and that naked POC that we're talking about on the TPO chart. So when it's super tight like this, things do get granular and fairly complex, so I like to keep it simple. I'm watching for the range today, at least so far, um, 40.14ish, so that naked POC up here down to 39.82, and then we'll move to the other levels which are on that warm-up document if and when we do get above or below any of those. So that's just a TPO again, like I said, out of order. Just wanted to flash that real quick since we were getting that relative speed and aggression that seems to be petering out so far. Going back to the execution chart, developing in real time here. What I'm watching now, this is that ledge I'm seeing. This is Delta here. So you have a large chunk of sellers, about let's say 1100-ish, around that 90 area. And I think once price initiates below there, that's when you're going to see that continuation down to at least that naked POC and possibly this trend line and value area low um, from Friday's rally. So let's go. Let's get so that's our granular look. Like I said, we're going a little bit out of order. Let's go to the macro view and see what we got going on there. So big picture, still consolidating pretty much on that 365-day VWAP, 100 SMA. No continuation below that quite yet. So we'll see again if we do get this follow through here, pushing us down to that 80 area. On SPY, I believe we will be below that. Let me double check. Yeah, so we will be below these major MGI here, and we'll probably be targeting that 200 SMA area for the rest of the day, which corresponds to my friend OJ's 3950-ish level on the SPX, maybe a little lower. So we will see what happens there. This little ellipse that I put on the chart here, I'm just showing you that you had that intraday or not intraday, whatever is not intraday swing. I don't know, whatever the correct adjective is for. You had like a fake break of that downward trend line. Remember, this is so if we zoom out here, this is from that 2022 high to low. This is really important trend line. You saw last week that we had the fake break below and we popped back above it. So to me, that does still lend to the bullish assumption. And you see that in the VIX today. VIX is trying to pop right now, but it's back around that 20 area, which is what seems to be a magnet for most of the past several months. And we'll see what happens relative to that area. Again, I think the correct assumption is cyclical bear market until you start to see that push below all trend lines and that VIX really start to pop and hold. So, yeah, so I guess we'll just look at volatility real quick again. Not really too much going on here, just kind of like yesterday. We're just in this really wide chop range. So we continue breaking levels. We're trying to bounce a little bit here, I know, but still, it's like I said yesterday, really it's between 22 and 28 is kind of going to be this volatility range until something breaks, be it to the downside or upside, and until that happens, I'm not paying too much attention to this chart. I'm watching the VIX a little bit as it pertains to 20, but really, in this type of market that we have right now, I think it's predominantly price action, and that is what I'm going to be focusing on. So just got to talk about volatility, but really it's about this big macro chart here. So watching this fake breakdown here on the daily, which I think was a bullish sign, especially as we continue to consolidate and remain above this 365-day VWAP. And also, as you can see, I have to zoom in, but you can see it's also that 100 SMA. So that's kind of the first bullish layer to things. And then obviously, if we do get a little bit of a down move, how do we close relative to that 200 SMA? So really simple, price action based. So I'm going to go back to the execution chart here real quick, just because that's, oops, that's the wrong screen. Oh no, that was the right screen. Cool. So we'll see what happens relative to that. So I'm just going to point out, again, very granular because of the current nature, tight nature of the market, watching this distribution from this low. So you can see there's just so much junk here, all these trend lines and levels. It's really how this is that distribution from the low on Sunday night, Monday morning, and this is that distribution from the Friday low. So right now, you're seeing price hold below that value. So it makes sense it's going to go test a low here, or at least that 80 to 85 level. So pretty easy look, very much price action based. Don't got to worry too much about volatility. And yeah, I think it's actually pretty easy trading. I was telling my good friend Juiceball here yesterday that you know it's and it's kind of the same today. It's ugly looking market in terms of for trend trading. Yet really for I think these scalping type strategies is really nice. The fake breaks, the traps starting to play out, and you're seeing a lot of respect for the various levels. So yeah, so we'll see what happens the rest of the day. My day is complete, regardless of how this trade turns out. I locked in my 15 points at least, and so I got this just hanging out at break even. If they do retrace at 10 points, that'll stop me out. If not, I will have a nice tight stop around this 80 area, and definitely if we do go near that bottom of value. So those are my plans for the day. Just going back to the warm up real quick, I will highlight the levels again and wish everybody a merry Tuesday. So again, these are the levels I'm watching. Bolded are just barb. I think all levels are important that if they're listed. Again, bolded barb does not pertain to the strength necessarily of one level over another. If anything, this 83 level is super important, 73 to 83 zone. So again, this is in the description of the video. This warm-up document I think is pretty swell and really is helpful to me for kind of getting the mood for the day and keeping tabs on levels. So still working on the future stuff that we were talking about yesterday. I don't really have any updates, so not going to waste your time with that. I guess my update would be I'm starting to like those tighter stops that our friend Juice Ball has helped us work through. And yeah, so we'll see. I'll keep sim trading that as soon as I do get to stop here on this runner, and hopefully we'll have some cool stuff for you as the week progresses. So that's all I have in terms of the price action, in terms of the lovely puppet show. I'm going to move this live stream to Twitch, and I will have a set there today, at least a brief set for those couple electronic music fans who don't mind a little bit of ear pain from my lack of DJ skills. So besides that, you can always tweet at Routine Trader with your thoughts or respond to any email or just in the comment section of this video. I appreciate any recommendations. Shout out to Alienated yesterday for recommending I move my cute little thumbnail here to the top right. Uh, I think that is a nice little design improvement, and I appreciate any other recommendations that anybody has along that front. And of course, that futures discussion. So if you are interested in that, you can go to yesterday's video and just kind of skim through 2x speed. That's kind of how I recommend always listening to me, to be honest, but especially for that type of thing. So I'd love to have some feedback around stops and stuff for that as well. So that is all the time that I'm going to take from you today. So thank you for tuning in. If you did enjoy today's content, please give it a like. That helps with the YouTube algorithm. And we'll trade and see what happens the rest of the day. So stay classy and enjoy your days until tomorrow. Enjoy tomorrow too, but cheers until then.